Good morning, good morning, good morning. I kind of wanted to get y'all's thoughts on something. Some of you may know, I think literally only 3 or 4 know, but the rest of y'all don't know. So I recently sold probably 95% of my collection. My entire collection, you could fit into one shoebox and still have room, still have quite a bit of room. And I sold it so we could get this thing here, and all the stuff that comes along with a big new beautiful house and all that, and kind of sold it not really, what's the word I'm looking for, really wasn't hesitant to sell or anything. I've always told my wife that I'd be more than willing to sell any portion of my card collection for the family. I mean, that's what I did, and I'm pretty okay with it, man. I really am. But now the weird dilemma that I'm in, and I've heard baseball collectors say this before on like personal chats, that if you were to sell everything, you just don't know how eager you'd get back into it. And he said a couple times to me that if he was to sell everything, he just doesn't think he'd get back into collecting. And I find kind of that's where I'm at right now. Not that I'm not going to get back into collecting, because all this is new. I haven't bought anything on eBay in about 3 weeks, and it's just been selling. And what's kind of weird is I still have most of that money. We didn't use hardly any of it. I kind of was unnecessary, honestly. I didn't need to sell it, but I didn't know at the time. I'd rather have needed it and been prepared than needed it and not ready. I'm one of those guys that takes zero risk when it comes to my family. And I kind of want to know what you think you would do if you had to sell everything. Or if you thought you had to sell everything. You think you would start over? Do you think you'd start over and maybe change your collecting PC or how you collect? I know I released a TTM video earlier this morning, so sorry about the 2 videos in one day. But I just kind of want to get y'all's thoughts. I know in that video I talked about, TTM burnout and wanting to get out of TTMs, and I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, man. I've been TTMing since I was 9 years old. I remember getting the Tough Stuff magazine. There used to be like 5 to 8 addresses in each month, and I'd know like 1 or 2 of the names, and I'd always send off. And that's how long I've been TTMing. But you just kind of get burnt out. And I see the love and passion these dudes have for vintage, and man, I just look at these cards and my jaw drops most of the time. Like, man, what a freaking beauty! I wish I could. Man, that would be great. And it's like, you can, dude. It's like the amount of money I spend on stamps and postage and cards that never get sent back, and it's like you totally can. So I think that's kind of more what I meant than never TTMing again, is just slow way down on that and give it a go, man. Change how I PC, or change how I collect. Baseball collector says there's no way you're not going to collect autographs, and that might be, man. I would love autographs. But I see some of these guys and the stuff that they get in, and I'm like, man, I've always wanted that card. Oh, I remember that card when I was a kid. So on and so forth. And I kind of want to get back to that, man. When I got first into collecting, and I assume with most of us, I didn't collect autographs. I couldn't afford autographs, you know what I mean? You'd go to the 7-Eleven or anything like that and buy a pack of cards. I remember the first gas station I ever went to buy a pack of cards. I rode my bike about a half a mile, and it was 1992 Dunrust, the one with the blue border. And let me snooze this alarm here. And the card I remember specifically that I felt was the hit, which really was none looking back, was the Darryl Strawberry in his suit from the press conference when he went to the Dodgers, and he was wearing a Dodgers ball cap and a tie, and I thought that was like the big card, man. And I probably bought 10-15 packs over, you know, a couple months. You couldn't afford a lot and didn't have a lot, you know, it was just allowance money. I kind of want to get back to that, man, just the roots of my collecting, you know. No frills, no thrills, no relics, no patches, you know, no autographs. Just collect because you enjoy the player and enjoy the process. And so something I think I might get into is something kind of, I hate to bring up the guy's name 3 times in a video. It's kind of psychopathic. Baseball collector. Something kind of what he does. The player runs of Hall of Famers. I did the player runs of autographs. I think I started that like 7 or 8 years ago, and that was fun. But guys that I remember watching as a kid, like Ken Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas, like Hall of Famers that, you know, when I was a teenager, you were like, damn, the kid, Big Hurt, man. Those were the men with the plan, man. Those were the dudes. So might get into something like that. I definitely want to get into vintage. So we'll see. I don't regret selling off the stuff, man. When you look at, walked out this morning to walk my dogs and seen that sunset, and I'm walking and I got this little thing in my backyard, this little pond. So, oh, God's been good to me for sure. And I kind of look at it like a new beginning, and not trying to be dramatic at all, but a new beginning of collecting. When you don't have much, you haven't kind of pigeonholed yourself into what you collect. And I find myself, I'm all in or I'm all out. And it's hard for me to collect, you know, autographs and this stuff and that stuff. I'm a very all this or nothing type of guy. And so I think it'd be fun. It'll be interesting to see what I choose, because I have no clue what I'm going to choose or go after. But I'm rambling at this point. I would like to know, do y'all think you would start over from scratch? You think you would buy back in to the hobby? You think you would change your PC? If so, how? You know, what might you change different? So, sorry for the long rambling video. Just kind of wanted to get my thoughts on video and put it out there and see what y'all thought. But till next time, adios, be safe, bye-bye, toodles.